Ladies and gentlemen of the board, it's a pleasure to stand here before you as your Vice President of Global Marketing. I'd like to thank you all in advance for your consideration of me for the position of the President of Global Marketing for the Uber Corporation. It's been a pleasure working here for the last 15 years, and I've loved it every step of the way. I've loved it ever since I was first given my opportunity here. So, not everyone here on the board has had a chance to familiarize themselves with me on a personal level. So I'd like to talk about what makes me the man I am today. I come from a very affluent area, an area where kids are driving new BMWs and Mercedes to school, and if they aren't given those, they tend to complain a lot. I couldn't have been happier when I received my 1998 Toyota Camry with over 270,000 miles on it. That's just the type of person I am. I appreciate everything that I am given. So I'd like to take this time to talk about two people that have major impacts on my life. The first is my father, Vince, on the left. Anytime I needed him, he was there for me. He was by far the greatest influence on my life. He taught me how to be a hard worker and how to never give up. I don't believe I ever heard that man complain about anything once. Something that I strive to do in my personal life every day. He taught me to respect everyone, and that he also taught me that people are more important than things in this life. The other important person that had an impact on me was my football coach, Tim Gushu. He would tell us every day is an opportunity to get better, and that if you aren't getting better, you're getting worse. We would have meetings during the summertime, 6 a.m. every day on the dot, designed to develop us into better men. He would tell us if the only thing he did was teach us how to hit and how to catch, then he hadn't actually done his job properly. Through football, I ended up developing my work ethic, and it was in these meetings that I gained a new outlook on life. I gained two new perspectives through my time playing football, and they stuck with me every step of the way. The first is that I realized that we are entitled to nothing in this world, and that life is what you make it. The second comes from a quote. It really resonated with me, and I try to live my life to uphold this quote, and I look at it every day when I wake up. That quote is that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Attitude in this life is everything, and if you have a positive attitude, you will have a positive life. So, on to my college years. I had a lot of football and baseball offers out of high school. My passion for sports and my work ethic drew a lot of college coaches towards me. One thing they would always say is that they loved the drive they saw in me, the passion I played with. I told myself that I would never be outworked by anyone. I was more passionate about football, but I had better offers for baseball. So I ended up choosing baseball, and I went to Seton Hall University. Seton Hall University was a Division I baseball school in the Big East Conference. I did very well there my first year. I was even named to the Big East All-Academic team. I was originally planning on triple majoring, but I ended up dropping it for a dual major in finance and marketing, as well as a business information technology management certificate. Through my time at Seton Hall, baseball didn't end up working out. And the school even blocked my transfer when I wanted to go to a division rival of Seton Hall's. I learned a lot about myself through this adversity that I faced and through my failure. I really got to look at the man that I was. Would I let failure define me? I decided absolutely not. It would have been easy for me to put blame on others and put my problems on other people, but I picked myself up and I kept on going. I tried to make the best out of the bad situation, so I ended up throwing myself into my studies. I ended up taking a class at Seton Hall that I knew would challenge me. Little did I know just how much it would end up challenging me. We had to pick a company we thought had a marketing weakness and do a complete diagnostic of that marketing strategy, as well as where there was room for improvement. I ended up choosing the Uber Corporation, funny enough. My report ended up being 40 pages, over 15,000 words, and it was the most intensive project that I had ever done up to that point. I developed a marketing plan to advertise the individual services that Uber had separately rather than as a whole. Everything was accounted for in the project. I did a SWOT analysis, as well as where to advertise, what to advertise, through what mediums, how long to advertise them through those mediums, how much they cost. Literally everything that could have been accounted for was accounted for. It was just like the real world. Through this project, I ended up finding a passion for marketing, and I ended up becoming enamored with Uber. I was extremely impressed with all of Uber's successes, as well as the creative ideas that the company was experimenting with. I knew that I loved to use my creativity. Uber seemed like a natural place for me to fall. I wouldn't make the same mistake as I made with football. I decided to follow my passion this time. My professor had told me that kids before, through these projects, had gotten jobs through the companies they did research on. I worked my butt off. Why couldn't I do the same? So, my actual pitch to Uber, I ended up taking my newly gained expertise in the field and pitched my extensive rebranding idea. In the pitch, I ended up discussing a multitude of ways in which the marketing team was doing subpar. Improvements to the marketing department could provide a wealth of new customers due to the fact that the general public lacked information on the individual services that Uber was providing. I showed that I used the financial skills gained through my other majors to properly allocate the costs with this marketing campaign and was able to keep them under budget, in fact. Furthermore, they were pleased to see I could understand the technology side of things, as well as through my business information technology management certificate, I was able to understand the technology. A lot of you in the room gave me the nod of approval when I got right to work. Uber ended up calling me after this pitch, and they offered me a job. The job was the Director of Growth Marketing, North American Division. We got wild success. Uber was profitable for the first time in the business's history after the implementation of my plan. The company had seen tremendous growth in cities and towns all across the continent after the installation of my plan. After this plan had wild success, I was given the position of the Vice President of Marketing. You all wanted me to see me develop a similar plan for China. I didn't know anything about Chinese culture, but I got right to work. I read as many books on Chinese culture as I could get my hands on. I didn't want to let the company down. I made my passion my obsession. I moved to China for half a year even. I chose to forego the fancy hotel that the company wanted me to stay in, and I wanted to know how people really lived in China. I lived with people from all walks of life to get the full experience. To know people that we were going to target, you need to know how they live. I decided that I wanted to visit all parts of China, and here are a few pictures that I took along my travels. I ended up taking on China, and I won. After learning all about Chinese culture, I was able to develop a unique marketing campaign specific to that region of the world. It ended up working flawlessly, just as my other plan had. Uber started to steal more and more of the market share from that region, and more major players were falling off by the wayside. So, ladies and gentlemen, here I am asking to be the president of global marketing. I've brought in hundreds of millions of dollars in profit. That figure is going to approach the $1 billion mark very soon. I've shown that I can adapt to the new challenges facing me. I've shown that my creative thinking has served me and the company well. I've given this company my all and showed that I have the leadership capabilities as well as the trust of the board, who have given me more and more control of the marketing department. I have shown I am more than capable of stepping into a new position and showing that I am not afraid to tackle any of the new big problems and challenges that I face. I put in hours and hours of work because I am a dedicated employee to the company that gave me my big break. I bleed Uber blood. I have sacrificed for this company, and I am ready for the next step. I want this company to be all it can be. With me at the helm of the marketing ship, there is no place that Uber cannot expand its reach to, and there is no place that we cannot dominate in the market. I would like to thank you all for your time and consideration for me for this esteemed position. Thank you.